Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. We're going to take a look at both charts. We have obviously seen here in the last 24 hours, last 48 hours, quite a lot of price decreases. I mean, it's gone back in the last 7 days actually, since we broke down from that peak at around 45.5k, and we completed that wave 4 I talked about for Bitcoin. We have seen further downside, but actually no surprise, but it's still good to see it play out as intended, because we're heading further into the direction of my primary price expectation down here. So we're still in this correction here. ABC for Bitcoin completed that head and shoulders, retested this head and shoulders pattern from below. That pushed us further down, and so far it's all going according to plan. We've been tracking here every wave movement. Oftentimes the Fibonacci levels were and the target levels were targeted, and we saw the price moving to these. In the very latest here, this wave 4 target area that we had here around 45.5k was triggered as well. The price did move into that direction, did not break that primary scenario, and we have now probably seen the top of the wave 4. I think I can confirm that yet, even though there is still a risk we could be pushing higher from here. But again, that would only be an extension of the corrective move. That would not take Bitcoin to all-time highs, at least not yet. That is at least my expectation here. There are always different scenarios that can play out. Both of the ones that I have on the radar here is obviously the primary one, where I still see the price push down into this yellow target area between 20k and 28.7k, or 29k. And the other one where the price could move up, break above 46.5k, so basically go through these previous resistance levels and this neckline of the major head and shoulders that I've just shown you. And if that level gets broken, Bitcoin could unlock higher prices to an ideal range between 55k and ideal level is 55k, but it could go all the way up to 65k. That would be an area for profit taking, but of course, this is not the primary scenario. The primary scenario is that Bitcoin is heading further down here, and so far this is playing out. But just because it's playing out now doesn't mean it also needs to continue like that. But for me, it's all pointing into that direction, into this yellow target area down here. It is impossible to specify this area further or smaller, because we need to see how the price is reacting to the target area. I've said many times before that the ideal range in here, or the ideal level in this target area, is around the 27k level, because this is the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level from the previous high here, from the low to the high back in April. This is the one that I'm looking at, not taking the Fib levels for the wave B, because this is not how you should do it, not in this retracement. It needs to be, we need to look at the Fibonacci levels from the low to the wave 1 peak, because this is the impulse. This is what we're looking at. So 27k will certainly be support in this yellow target area. But what happens more imminently here on the Bitcoin chart? So we can see that it's going as expected. We're moving down further here in this descending broadening wedge, which is actually a bullish pattern. Let me take that triangle out here. We talked about it. We talked about this descending wedge and the potential that it could find support here, then even break out to the upside here potential, and then maybe find once more resistance in this yellow target area here for the wave 4, for this smaller wave 4. I mean, these are the micro movements, right? Let me take the target area out now, because it was reached anyway. We could now already be in that wave 5 to the downside, but pretty much at the moment it's impossible to say. These are really the micro movements, and so far it's playing out, but it can also it can still move differently. What I wanted to show you is obviously what the price did here as we moved down in this wave 3. Here on the left hand side, moved down, found a low that was a significant low. You can see it, and that is when we started that wave 4, that higher degree wave 4. Now look at what the price did. It did move down very, very strongly and recovered very strongly as well. Now if we assume we could have something on the chart like a wave 3 as well. Now the wave 3, that might have been the wave 3. Maybe this was the wave 3. We need to wait. We don't know yet, right? But then also it did that, came down very strongly and recovered very strongly as well. In the end, it doesn't really matter. The micro movements here, personally, I wouldn't trade them anyway, especially not in a downtrend. Go long here. I wouldn't do it, not for a short-term trade. I am dollar cost averaging at the moment anyway. I think most of the altcoins are at an absolute bargain price, and that is only my opinion, no financial advice. But looking at where we expect the prices in the next wave up, that's crazy. I mean, for Bitcoin is still a little bit further away from its target area, but then again, not that much. I mean, it was already here at around 36.5, and really it only needs to get to around 29k. So how much more is that to do actually the absolute, let's say from the low that we already did here, that is another, that's not too much for the crypto market. 22%, would you say that's unrealistic that we're going to get in my target area? I don't think so. It's only another 22%. I mean, Bitcoin can make that in a week, right? It could do, but obviously it's now been a little bit oversold, so we're going to take a look at that. Still a possibility that the price could break out of this broadening descending wedge here, absolutely, that we have on the chart here. But if it moves up to this resistance level here at 38.8, and if it doesn't break out, I think then we're going to see another strong rejection here that could push the price lower and could even push it out to the downside of this broadening descending wedge. So watch these levels here in the broadening wedge. We've got the support line at 36.5 and resistance at 38.8, I would say, right? And then you might get a retest or whatever, and then we've got this resistance level up here, which also provided support before, which was retested as resistance now as well. So that will be this diagonal descending trend line will also provide resistance going forward. Looking at the indicators, especially here on the shorter time frame, because that's where we currently are, we can see that we have a little bit of upside movement and also a bullish crossover on the MACD. Now that is only the 1 hour chart because it was oversold, as it so often is. We even had here a bullish divergence. Yeah, you can see that here we made a higher low on the RSI and a lower low on the price chart, and since then we have seen, or we still see here, this bullish divergence play out currently. We had 2 lower lows on the price and 2 higher lows on the RSI. Bullish divergence indicating the price could push a little bit higher. Bear in mind it's only the hourly. So yeah, we could certainly move up higher here, but it's still a long way to go to really make a higher high. And I don't think the way the price chart looks at the moment, we don't have this significant low that we need. We are still corrective. There is no reason to think we have seen the low here. And also on the 4 hour chart, same thing. Actually, you see here a bullish divergence play out on the 4 hour chart. Also here, possibly a bullish crossover on the MACD, indicating also that the price could now push a little bit higher, but there is no change on the RSI. So what could happen here on the daily chart, what could happen, and that would be bearish and would also then support further lows, that the RSI could now, which is at 37, so already fairly low, it could now move up a little bit together with the price, possibly bounce off the 50 line and then move down again, and that could create another lower low. The MACD still pointing to the downside, no recovery here seen. Therefore, I do primarily expect further prices going forward anyway, maybe after a little bit of a recovery, but yeah, I mean, we see lower prices here. It's playing out at the moment, and we are currently still at this key support level, not only in this broadening descending wedge, but also here this swing low. You've got that here at around 36.5k. So we need to go through that. But yeah, Bitcoin is making lower lows at the moment already. So all you can see here is a small green candle, and it's everything pointing further to the downside for me. Cardano obviously was smashed here in the last 24 hours. Did drop out of the, well, first of all, it did drop below the 92 cents level that we had as support here. We did expect that to be broken, and it did break, and also break out of this descending wedge, actually a bullish pattern. But as I always say, these patterns, oftentimes they don't work out actually. So it's good nevertheless to understand what kind of pattern you have, because you have a support line or a resistance line, and you know when you get into the apex. Now that was broken down, and obviously then also is finding now support at around 80 cents. Now we are slightly above that. We've got this red support line here at 79, but because the 92, the previous support level, was broken, and also we had up here in that region the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level that was broken as well, and therefore now I have to expect that we're going to reach the next Fibonacci support levels, and these are here between the 78.6 Fib level at 55 cents and the 88.7% fib level at 30 cents. So in here somewhere, the price has another good chance to turn around, and I think that is very realistic that we at least see the 55 cents. So if we say that Bitcoin is going to drop at least 22%, a drop for Cardano here would be 35%, yeah, at least to the next level. I think that is absolutely realistic, given that the altcoins are normally moving more than Bitcoin and are more volatile. But again, I did say it before, these movements are normal, these corrections are normal. In my view, they don't have anything to do with what's currently going on in the world. Yes, of course, it is accelerated with that, and movements like these always need a catalyst. So therefore they are related, but they are not, these movements need to happen. They just need to happen in the market. They are normal. It's nothing unusual, also not in the crypto market anyway. You see this volatility. There is no reason to panic. In the current bear, well, you can call it a bear market, and I don't like that term, because overall we are only in a correction in a larger uptrend, yeah. So it's not really, well, however you want to define bear market, doesn't matter. Yeah, these corrections just need to happen. They happen in every market. They haven't happened at different times. They have been there throughout history, and they always happen, especially these strong corrections, if there is not a lot of money in a certain asset. But that is why I try to focus here at the moment, especially on the more solid projects. I think there is no reason to go into a micro cap crypto at the moment, which might actually, should we even drop below my target areas, they might not survive, right? So should we really get into a prolonged, yeah, some people might call it crypto winter, which I don't think we are getting into, just to make that clear. But should we really get into a prolonged crypto winter, some projects might not survive. Okay, that is clear. And therefore, however, I think projects like the ones that I cover, Cardano, Chainlink, Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, they are going to survive. They're going to do well. And I like to have a few risky projects in my portfolio as well. As you know, I've got Blocktopia, for example. I've got Opulus, and some other smaller ones. But I'm aware of the risk, and they have a small portion. They're only a small portion in my portfolio. But looking at when that correction is finished for Cardano, I think we're still on the roadway to at least $4.50, maybe more. And with Bitcoin to at least in the next run up 100, 125, maybe 150K. And that is not any moon talk. That is what the Fibonacci extension levels tell me. And these are the extensions that typically in these market conditions in the next wave up would be reached. All right, so hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin and Cardano. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe, and also comment for the algorithm. And if you really like the content, maybe check out the channel membership. You can get, depending on what kind of level you subscribe to or sign up to, you can get a live stream, you can get Telegram and Discord access with my own buy and sell orders, hodl portfolio, 2022 forecasts, and additional content. And also now for gold members, in addition, some signals for some stocks and shares that I analyze as well, and that I think are at attractive or interesting turning points. Right, that is my view here on Bitcoin Cardano. Again, hope you liked it. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.